Hi, I'm Kat Khan from Bay County Library, and I'm going to do another origami lesson for everyone today. This time we are going to be folding the tsuru, the paper crane, which is what most people think about when they think of origami. And I just wanted to give a little bit of background information about it and about some of the stories that relate to the cranes. In Japan, in the Shinto religion, they do different kinds of prayers compared to what we Christians do. And one of the things that people would do would be to fold 1,000 paper cranes as a prayer. And each time they fold one, they're praying. And the idea is that if you could succeed in folding the 1,000 cranes, that your prayer will come true. And something happened in Japan during my lifetime. There was a little girl in 1945, she was 2 years old, lived in Hiroshima, and the United States dropped the atom bomb. And she survived, and everyone thought it was going to be okay. But when Sadako Sasaki was like 12 years old, she got very, very ill with leukemia, which was a result of the radiation poisoning from the atom bomb. And when she was hospitalized, she started folding the 1,000 paper cranes. She wanted to pray for good health, and she did not succeed in folding all the cranes before she died about 6.5 months after I was born in Japan. And so I've always had kind of a connection to that story because of that. Now, Eleanor Kerr wrote a book called Sadako and the 1,000 Paper Cranes in 1977. And it's a story about Sadako, so you get to learn about her life. If you want to read this book, it's in the public libraries here. Now, Sadako lived in Hiroshima, and so Hiroshima built a peace park, and it's dedicated to the hope that we never do anything like that again with the atom bomb. And in the Peace Park, they built a memorial to Sadako. And on top of this structure is a statue of her holding up a wire paper crane. Now, all the colorful stuff down here around the memorial are garland upon garland upon garland of 1,000 paper cranes, folded by people from all over the world, all over Japan, Europe, all through the United States. People do this and send them to Hiroshima, to the Peace Memorial, and they display them all, which I think is absolutely wonderful. And we saw this when my husband and I traveled there in 1983. It was awesome. So we are going to go over, and I'm going to show you how to do the traditional paper crane, but we're also going to fold a nice little flapping bird toy also. Okay, we're going to do the tsuru. This is the traditional tsuru right here. This photograph is of my grandmother, and she's the one who taught me how to fold the tsuru when I was 8 years old without being able to speak any English besides my name and good girl, bad girl. But she would just show me one fold at a time and have me copy her, and that's how I ended up folding my very first tsuru. So I just wanted everyone to see my beautiful grandmother who taught me something that I have been doing all of my life ever since then. So as I said, we're going to be folding this one. Now I made this out of a piece of wrapping paper. So you can do that. You have to make sure that your paper is going to be strong enough to hold the folds without tearing. And I noticed that's why I couldn't quite open up too well, because right in here the paper was starting to tear. So that is something that you need to be aware of when you're working with different kinds of paper. Now, this is origami paper. And you can see this one has the blank white side and a solid color on this side. And it's very, very thin, but also very, very strong. And this paper takes folds beautifully, and it doesn't tear unless you really work at it. But if you can't find origami paper because of our situation right now, again, remember, you can just use scratch paper. So I've already taken some paper, and I decided I wanted some color. So we have some paper here. It has a blank side and the colored side, and I've already cut it into the square, just as I showed you the last time when we were making the other toys. Okay, so we're going to take our paper, and we want to start by folding into a triangle. But what we're going to do is, you've got your colored side up. I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Yeah. Make sure that your corners and edges all meet and make a nice sharp crease. And then now you're going to do about a 90-degree turn so that your crease there is vertical to you. Fold it in half again. Make a nice sharp crease. Now you're going to turn the paper over, and you're going to fold in half into a rectangle. Make the nice sharp crease, and you notice now we've got the colored side facing up as you fold. Do the 90-degree rotation, fold it in half again. Now this time, when you see the paper, those creases, if you just push in along the inner folds, it will almost automatically go into a square. And in some origami books, they call this a magic square. Now from here, you've got a closed pointed side and an open side where you've got the two pieces of paper and two little sections in the middle. So take one of the open edges and you're going to fold it along the center crease. Make sure you're meeting that center crease and press down. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So what you have is kind of a little kite shape there. And then this point up here, you're going to fold down right along the top edges of the papers that you just folded. So it will look like this. Now, this is the hard part. You open it all back up. You're going to take this point and pull it up right along that crease there that you made. And then you're going to fold back along those creases to make this shape. And that's why the creases is really important to have those good sharp creases, because the paper will almost automatically fold back with you as you do that. Now you're going to turn the paper over and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Origami has a lot of repeating folds. So again, we're folding the open edges along the center crease. And then folding this small triangle part down opening it all back up, and then folding back. As you watch this, if you want to pause every so often to see all the different steps, that might help you see what I'm doing. So now you have this shape. So you've got the open end over here and the closed end here. So now what you're going to do, again, you're going to fold this top edge right along the center. So you see it's getting skinnier. And same thing on the other side, like so. You're going to turn your paper over and do the same thing on this side. So you're folding right along the center. So now you've got a skinnier form, and you still have to open it. If you've figured it out yet, these are going to be the wings. Let me see. There we go. These are the wings, and these will end up, one will be the head and one will be the tail. So from here, I just sort of put my fingers in to right in the middle, right in here, and press down. Press down. So now you have this form, so you can kind of see the wings there. You're going to take these pointy ends and you're going to fold up. So basically you're folding right to where you've got your center points. And you fold up on each side like so. And now again, you're going to put your fingers in, put them in right here, and in right here, and fold back. So now you can see, there are the wings, and you can kind of see a little peeking out there, the little points. At this point, you're going to hold about here with this hand. Hold your model right here, and just kind of pull out about that much, and do the same thing on the other one. You don't want to pull it too far out, just about where you see mine, okay? I'm going to put it down so you can see, just like that. And you're going to take one end, and it's going to be your head. So basically, you're just going to push down in the center crease, just kind of push down and fold it down and kind of squash it down to get the head of your tsuru. And that's the tail. And then to open it up, you just kind of take the wings and just gently, gently, gently open up. So you got the body there opening. And you can kind of curve or fold the wings to make them stand up a little better. And there is your tsuru. Okay? Now imagine doing 1,000 of these. Okay, so this is, like I said, it's traditional. This was the very first thing I ever folded. I'm amazed that I did it, but I loved it so much that of all the different origami that my grandmother taught me, this is still my favorite one. All right, now we are going to do the flapping bird. So that's what that toy looks like. And it is a toy, and it actually has little moving wings. And we're going to start with some of the early folds that we did with the tsuru. So we're going to fold our paper in half into the triangle. and then turning the paper over and folding it into the rectangles. And as always, remember, I always have to keep saying this, you want to make your corners meet and your edges meet, and make your creases as sharp as possible, so that when you open this up, it will almost automatically fold into the magic square for you. Then we're going to fold the open edges along the center crease, like so. And the top is going to come fold down here so that you can open it up. Fold back along your creases. Turn the paper over and do the same thing. Like so. But from here, it's going to be a little different. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to fold this part over here so that you will see you've got your little triangle here, and you're going to fold this section up along that crease, like so. And then you're going to open up this one and do the same thing up here. So now you've got what looks kind of like a triangle, and then you've got your two little points inside. Pull one out, and you want to kind of line it up at an angle so it's all lined up here. And on the other side, you're going to pull this one out till this edge lines up with that crease down here, like so. You go ahead and press down on the center part of the crease to make your head, and you want to fold down the wings at an angle like that, and like so. And when you hold them, bring them open, and just kind of hold the bottom of the bird model and pull back on the tail. Just pull straight back on the tail, and there you've got your flapping bird. And there you go, a fun, easy toy made with a single square piece of paper. There you go.